Okay, the next candidate for county coroner is Rusty Clevenger. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I count myself privileged to be able to stand in front of you today, this evening, to talk to you a little bit about what your coroner's office brings to this community. My opposition was very fast to note that I do have 30 years experience, but where we disagree would be in what the coroner actually does. What my opposition forgot to say is that there's a very competent forensic pathologist that is a resident of Spartanburg County. He is a part of the coroner's office. My opposition also made reference to American Board of Medical Legal Death Investigation. I was the first one here in Spartanburg to take that certification because my desire for Spartanburg has been always for this to be a better place. In this room sits my son, my wife, my future daughter-in-law. One day I hope to have grandchildren, and the dream of anybody that is running for office here in this county is to make this community better. That's exactly what I do, but most of you look at me and say, how in the world is the coroner going to make this community better? I began programs that were proactive instead of reactive. The coroner primarily, what most people think is when you get the call, you respond. And your coroner's office does that as good or better than anyone in the state. I put my record as your coroner in customer service against anyone. But a proactive program is one where I go in your schools and I shed the icky-ism that is usually with the coroner. And I talk to them about math and science at very young ages, trying to identify who may be interested in those skills and who also may be a future coroner or a future prosecutor or a future law enforcement officer. I also invest in this community via going and talking to your students in high schools because we have a terrible dilemma going on with the deaths on our roads, deaths in general, where good decisions that could be made just thinking about something before they accelerate too fast or they drive that car around the curve too fast, making them think that the one extra second before may prevent me from having to get up and go to the door and tell their parents that they're not coming home. I've been doing that since I took office. That was a program that I started the very first year I took office, and the first place was Landrum High School. Since then, I've been to virtually all high schools that would accept that program. I also began instructing alive at 25. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a coroner that's just reactionary. I'm a coroner that's going to try and get in front of the problem, but I've still got a lot of work to do. There are other certifications that I'd like to see for your coroner's office, one of which is a national accreditation. Now, I've come under fire about that. I don't mind taking heat when I know what I'm doing for this community is going to be right. And the national accreditation will do nothing but give Spartanburg a better understanding of what its coroner's office does, and give it more confidence because we're following national standards and that certification stands. The investigations in this county are paramount to me. I know about every case, every dispatch that goes to me or one of my investigators is automatically sent to me because that personal touch for the coroner in any county is what's needed. I speak to friends. Last week I spoke to the son of a former landlord that I had that passed away. They knew they could call me and talk to me about what happened, and I shared in their grief just like I did a family today where they had a 23-year-old son pass away abruptly. I'm there not there every time. That's virtually impossible with the caseload that Spartanburg County has. But I'm there in some small way because every investigator that I have knows what I want for Spartanburg County, and that is for the decedent's family to be put first, for that investigation to make sure that it's competent and complete and reported truthfully to the family. The coroner has an immense responsibility, and that's to make sure the safety of this community is upheld. Now, you can say that the coroner isn't a law enforcement officer. You can say a number of things, I guess, but when it comes to independent investigations, where our investigations run alongside with law enforcement, if they disagree, we need to come together and make sure that the truth is told in these instances, because I get a number of calls. I get people calling me in neighborhoods where things have happened and know that the coroner is responding, and they're just as interested in knowing from the coroner as they are law enforcement what's happening in their community. I bring that as well. My background, ladies and gentlemen, was a homicide detective for a number of years. Then I was promoted or took a job in the solicitor's office, where there's at least one prosecutor or former prosecutor here that I work for that can attest. Feel free to ask Mr. Willingham, if you'd like, the investigative abilities and the compassion that I have for the families that I've served over the years. 30 years is a badge of honor for me, ladies and gentlemen. I have business that I would like to continue as your coroner. And that being said, I'd like your vote, June 14th, to continue doing the good work that we've done to serve Spartanburg as a community and as your coroner. Thank you very much.